I didn't show up with my best last week. Barely showed up with my just okay for my company, for my team, for my family, quite frankly. It was a hard week. My husband has Hodgkin's lymphoma and Crohn's disease, and about 10 days ago, he started running a fever. And last Monday, it hit 103.7, which it's not great. So 7 o'clock on Monday night, I reached out to my team, asked, can anybody come over and hang out with our kiddo? Our kiddo is 8. His bedtime is 8 during the summer. And so it was really just, I've got to get Mike to the hospital. Can anybody come help? And Dave very kindly called and said he could come over and hang out with Ro. So Mike and I got to the hospital. We hung out in the for a couple of hours. They took his vitals. His heart rate was high. His blood pressure was high. His temperature was outrageous. And we sat. And when we finally got taken back into a room, they drew some blood, more blood than I've ever seen them take. We went to Baylor Scott and White, which is where he receives most of his care these days. We've always had good experiences with them. Their doctors are phenomenal. And a couple hours in, they came in and told us that Mike had COVID and also viral and bacterial pneumonias. They did an x-ray, they did a CT. And what was so weird was as we were navigating all of this that night, his lungs sounded clear. So it was just this perplexing variety of symptoms. After the x-ray, they came in and said they were taking him for a CT. And he asked, is this because they saw something on the x-ray? And they said, it's more what they didn't see. So they started him on remdesivir, an antiviral that they use to treat COVID now, and also antibiotics, 2 different kinds. So they had to set a couple of different IVs. Gave him fluids, tried keeping him hydrated. I finally left that night about 4 a.m. And I have been exhausted ever since. Tuesday of that week, he texted me that he has sepsis. So not great. In a cancer patient, made the mistake of asking Dr. Google what that means. I don't recommend. It's not good news. So they started additionally treating him for that. I made it up to visit him that evening. Heather, my partner at Queen of To Do, came over and hung with Ro for a few hours. So I was over at the hospital with Mike. They required anybody going into his room to do full hazmat bunny suit, mask, gloves, gown, the whole 9. So yeah, Tuesday was the sepsis diagnosis. Wednesday was when they found he had markers for Legionnaire's disease. So we have COVID, we have bacterial and viral pneumonia, we have Legionnaire's disease, we have sepsis. So he came home Thursday with 3 days of oral antibiotics, broad spectrum. And then Friday, he was checking his results and found that he had MRSA, antibiotic resistant staph. We made it through the weekend. My body has been fully fight or flight freeze, mostly freeze. I have barely been showing up as okay, sleeping a lot. It just feels like I'm never going to catch up on sleep. My team has showed up and stepped up and done all the things that a business owner could possibly hope that their team does when they're not able to be at their best. Today, Mike had a fight was the medical system. Anytime he doesn't get the care he needs, instantaneous throwdown. I have no qualms, and I am absolutely sure there's notes in his file that just say, don't fuck with his wife. But he knows I will always have his back in medical situations where he is more or less not functional. He has a lot of PTSD around medical settings, which makes hospital stays incredibly hard for him. So I've spent the better part of a week freezing and fighting. And then over the weekend, I hit my finger with a hammer a couple of times while working on a project, and it's not broken, but one additional thing. Today he had labs for his Keytruda infusion on Thursday, which is for his lymphoma. I don't know if they'll be able to do that or not. We just have to wait and see. But one of the nurses that we've been seeing every 3 weeks for the last couple of years, commented that the MRSA crossed the brain-blood barrier, which is distressing and is kind of the straw that has broken the camel's back for me. It feels like a cruel joke of fate to have to navigate all of this, and it's not even my struggle. It's my husband. But it's hard on the entire family. So I just wanted to say, just because someone else's struggles are harder than yours doesn't diminish the struggles that you are having. Needing support it's not a moral failure. It's not wrong to need help or to ask for support. And it really just speaks to the importance of building community in your life and finding people that reciprocate. My entire business is built around helping other people. And reciprocation is not necessarily one-to-one. So it can be webbed, for lack of a better word. I really encourage everyone to look at their village and the people that they pour into and the people that pour into you, and make sure that we continue to take care of each other. Life is hard right now. It's weird and it's wonky and challenging in so many ways. And the way we get through that is by continuing to show up for others and engage with them and check on them and make sure they're okay and fill the gaps where you see them in other people's lives. I literally had to call one of my employees over this weekend because we had a 50-pound bag of chicken feed, and my husband can't lift that, or shouldn't rather. He tried half his body weight. He tried, and I can't with this ridiculous situation. And he didn't hesitate to show up in the way that we needed him to. And I cannot understate the importance of that to me, and how grateful I am that the people in our lives show up to take care of us when we are showing up barely okay.